you pumped? I'm pumped because I love doing my top 10 lists at the end of the year. Even though I'm kind of sick. Yeah, my human body just doesn't want to cooperate with me. But that's okay. Life goes on. So let's do the video. Welcome to Preview Review, everyone, and today I'm counting down my top 10 best movies of 2016. Now, as always, I didn't see every movie that came out this year. But now that I think about it, there are only 4 movies I did not see that people would expect to be on this list. Those are Silence, Fences, Kubo and the Two Strings, and Patriots Day. Other than that, I pretty much saw everything that people would expect to be on this list. Spoiler alert, Moonlight is not on the list because that is an overrated boyhood wannabe. I know some people would disagree, but that is my personal opinion. And without further ado, let's count them down.
Number 10.
Coming in at number 10 was my favorite comedy of the year, and that was Sausage Party. And when I say my favorite comedy of the year, yes, that does include a movie that's much further up on the list. But yes, out of all my honorable mentions, I went with the crude, raunchy animated comedy known as Sausage Party. The same movie that has a musical number composed by the guy who did Beauty and the Beast. Mind blown. And I just want to get this out of the way. This is one of the funniest movies that I have ever seen. I laughed my ass off during this movie. I laughed so hard that I almost passed out. That is not an exaggeration. I was lightheaded. But this isn't just a funny comedy. It's very inventive, and for such a small budget, it looks great. And all of those are reasons to put it in my list.
Number 9.
Coming in at number 9 was my favorite horror film of the year, and that was Don't Breathe. You knew there was going to be a horror film on this list. Why are you holding your breath? I really need to stop making bad puns. That gets my channel nowhere. But I really liked this movie. It was claustrophobic. It had a lot of tension. The scares were visceral and real. It was shot incredibly well. And it has, in my opinion, one of the best twists in movie history. Was that a bit too much? Yeah, probably. Take it down a notch. But I really did like the twist. This is probably one of the best horror films that I've seen in the past few years, and I highly recommend it.
Number 8.
Coming in at number 8 is the superhero mashup, Captain America Civil War. I don't know why some people have changed their opinion about this movie, because when it first came out, everyone loved this movie. But nowadays, when you ask fans, it's like 50-50. Half of them love it and half of them hate it. I, however, happen to be on the side that loved it. This has arguably the best superhero throwdown in the history of movies. Actually, you know what? It's not up for debate. It is the best superhero throwdown in the history of movies.
Number 7.
Coming in at number 7 is La La Land. I just want to say this now. I enjoyed the animated movie Sing more than I did La La Land. But, hang on, you didn't let me finish. In terms of filmmaking, I do think that La La Land is the better movie. This is probably the best musical that we've had in the 21st century. Although, now that I think about it, that's not really that big of a feat because we don't really have that many musicals in the 21st century, but yeah, La La Land.
Number 6.
At number 6 is Deepwater Horizon. It makes sense that the guy who did Lone Survivor, which was one of my favorite movies in 2014, was going to make another fantastic movie that made another top 10 list. I don't know what it is about this director, but he does true stories perfectly. This was an intense and realistic look at one of America's most infamous disasters, and I loved it.
Number 5.
Coming in at number 5 is my favorite animated movie of the year, and that was Zootopia. Oh my gosh, did I love this movie so much. This film had everything. It was cute, yet dark. It was inventive, yet simple. It was fun, yet emotional. But probably the biggest factor is that the movie is relevant for today's society. Not to mention the fact that this film has my favorite song of the year. That's always a plus.
Number 4.
Coming in at number 4 is one of my favorite superhero movies of all time, and that is Deadpool. This was the most fun that I had at the theater all year. I saw this movie 3 times at theaters, and then 2 more times at home. And every single time I watched it, I had just as much fun, if not more fun, than when I first watched it. This flick was a hilarious and action-packed extravaganza that is, without question, the best representation of a superhero in the history of movies. My mom saw this movie, and she liked it. I don't think I need to prove my point anymore.
Number 3.
Coming in at number 3 is probably one of my favorite war films of all time, and that is Hacksaw Ridge. I'm honestly finding it really hard to put this movie into words. This was a powerful experience that was both a brutal depiction of warfare, but also a beautiful tribute to a hero that people should remember. If you haven't seen Hacksaw Ridge, check it out. Just be prepared.
Number 2.
Coming in at number 2 is A Monster Calls. Now, this was the last movie that I saw in 2016. And I'm telling you now, I left the theater in a puddle of tears. This was a gorgeous and well-acted film that blended fantasy with reality seamlessly. In fact, the only reason this isn't my number 1 pick is because it's too sad. I never thought I would say that, but this film took me on a roller coaster of emotions that I highly related to. Not enough people saw this movie. Please check it out. Alright guys, we've nearly made it. It's almost time for me to reveal my number 1 pick. But as always, I have some honorable mentions as well as some underrated picks. Now, fair warning, every single movie that I gave a 4.5 or higher to got an honorable mention. So there is a lot of them. So I'm going to go ahead and go P. Roll the honorable mentions.
To mention was someone else's bed. For the best last request, I think I've heard this before. Tell me that it's envy, yeah, tell me so much more. I let you run around and do me like this, and now we're
Number 1.
Alright guys, this is it. In my personal opinion, the best movie of 2016 was Swiss Army Man. Just like Hacksaw Ridge, I find it really hard to put this movie into words. It's just so out there, but yet so good. This is one of the most different and unique movies that I have ever seen in my life. It was clever, emotional, funny, beautiful, but most of all, relatable. If you told me that my favorite movie of 2016 was going to be about a farting corpse, I would look at you and go, what? But I personally relate to this movie on so many levels thanks to its themes. Please watch it. So that does it for my top 10 best movies of 2016. So I guess that leaves you, the viewer, with the $1 million question. What was your favorite movie of 2016? And of course, if you can't think of just one, go ahead and write a top 10 list down in the comments. But whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And if you enjoyed this video, punch that like button. And I will see you guys next time on Preview Review. Thanks for watching.